Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for attending our seminar this evening. Tonight's really an important seminar because, as you know, our practice is basically focused on sports and pediatrics. The one thing that we love sharing in our practice are the principles, right? Frank, you've been here before. So why do we share principles instead of just information? What's the importance? What's the value?
Right? You learn, right?
Okay, so information you can learn, but what about principles? What's the difference between just data and principles? What's the difference? What's the principle anyway? What's the definition of that?
Well, I would just say from a principle standpoint, it's a basis, it's a foundation, right?
Yeah, principles are basically laws of the body, the laws of healing. These are principles that, for example, they never change. In other words, information changes all the time depending on the knowledge base that you have, right? Mm-hmm. So here's another thing. Principles will filter data through them. If you don't understand principle, let's say the principle of honesty, right? If you don't have that principle, do whatever you want, right? Mm-hmm. Cheat somebody, give them wrong change, whatever. So the principles will filter information and experiences in your life. Because as we grow, the experiences we have in life, are they always going to be the same or different?
Different. Right.
So if you don't have those, think about you have kids, right? Principles you taught them. Honesty, be on time, be early, right? Those are principles. And that's what we're going to be sharing tonight. But we're going to focus the principles on health and performance. Because after all, think about this. Everything in your life is represented by a zero. The more zeros you have, the fuller your life is. What are some of those zeros that you can have? Great relationships. What else?
You said zeros?
Zeros are represented. The more zeros you have in your life, the more full your life.
Finances,
like affluence, right? What else? Belongings like houses and cars and right and vacations and clothes, right? What else? I mean, food, restaurants. All these things are represented by zeros. Here's a principle: your health is represented by one, the number one. You can have all the zeros. You add them up. What's that equal to? Mm-hmm. Right. Put the one in front of the zero. Now you multiply it by the zeros. You understand? Mm-hmm. Without your health, doesn't matter if you're laying in the hospital bed and you have billions of dollars. As a matter of fact, Medicare says 90% of the healthcare dollars are spent in the last 2 months of your life trying to keep you alive. Mm-hmm. Is that a good way to spend your money? Mm-hmm. Okay, those are the principles we're talking about. So instead of waiting till things go bad, let's make sure that we prevent them from happening. And athletes, I'm one of them, we don't like being on the sidelines, correct? Mm-hmm. But what are the principles that allows you to get back on track as quickly as possible? And that's what the topic is for this evening. We don't want you to just learn information. We want you to leave here, be different, and do things differently in your life. Okay? So we're going to talk about that too. So our mission statement is to provide the latest and most advanced technology in holistic health and life care. And our catalyzing statement is to inspire people to live lives that are extraordinary so that you can be a beacon of hope for others. Meaning you get to light somebody else's candle instead of just complaining that the world would not devote itself to making you happy. Right? So, who's this man? Is he young or old?
Seasoned.
He's a baby.
He's seasoned. This is 2 years. So Ava, look, I used to have hair and a mustache. See that? This is like early 90s, probably 90, 91. A year or two before I graduated. We were in the B.J. Palmer Mansion in Davenport, Iowa. This is Herbert Russ Reaver. He was the most jailed chiropractor in the world. Did you know we used to go to jail for practicing medicine without a license? So he was the most jailed chiropractor in the world. He went to jail 12 times. The longest he went was for 6 months. And while he was in jail, he was adjusting the bailiff in the jail. And all his patients were outside picketing, say, let our doctor go. You understand? Before he passed, because he was such a pioneer in his in our field, he said, "Hey Dennis, if you were the last chiropractic doctor in the world, will chiropractic survive?" So I took that to heart. I'm doing the best I can to hold on to that banner and carry it forward, because we need to stand on the shoulders of the giants, right? Instead of camping on the grave sites. He's gone now, a long time ago. But he sacrificed himself for the profession because it mattered to his patients. And that's our principle that we wanted to share with you, that principles matter. And he lived for that. Another person I want to thank is Dr. Jeff Spencer. He was a Tour de France chiropractor. I shared this with you before. All the technology we're utilizing in our practice, 90% of it I learned from him. He was the Tour de France for the Discovery Channel team, the Postal Service team, and the Radio Shack team. And he got them to 7 Tour de Frances in a row, first or second place. Nobody does that unless it's by design, correct? And so I definitely want to thank him. I met him back in 2008 when he started teaching, and then 2014, and then here we are today. So the question is, how do we get injured? What are the issues that happen? And here's the thing, how often do people go, oh, I did rehab? You'll see right now the Eagles are playing, right? They're going to have people that are injured. They're going to go rehab. They have the best rehab people, they have the best ortho, we have the best PT. You'll see them get injured again. And there's a mechanism behind that they may not be aware of. I doubt if they do because of the kind of work that we do. And the question is, can you heal quicker, as quickly as possible? And number 4, don't get injured to begin with. But guess what? That's not going to happen by accident, right, Frank? Remember that when we were like, Frank and I are in Krog, and it's like, oh man, it's like we're working together. It's like, I can't do it anymore. It's like, come see me. It's like, oh, I've been to chiropractor before. Right, Frank? It's like, yep. What are you going to do differently? It's like, but eventually, and again, based on principles. So traumatic injuries from contact sports, martial arts produce long-term permanent damage, and they reveal themselves in the spine and extremities years down the road. And that's why I'm so glad you're here now at your age, because you're not waiting 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years when it's all broken. And even if it's broken up, but it's never going to be as perfect as if you had a good foundation going forward. Because your nervous system controls everything in the body. Because health, if you look at the definition of it, right, it's the optimum physical, mental, social well-being, and it's nothing to do with how you feel. If you look at Durrell's Medical Dictionary, right, and the way we were raised, right, Frank? It's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's nothing to do with how you feel, right? So if you look at what control the body's function, it says the brain and nerve system control everything in the body, and that's from Gray's Anatomy, right? You really have to, again, what's the principle? Go to the functional, the principle of what controls your function, and then you can if you have control and communication between the brain and the tissues and the organs, you have 100% function. But life, physical stress, emotional, chemical stress, what happens? What does it do? It subluxates your spine. This is, you know what this is? Anybody have a breaker switch in their house? Like downstairs, right, usually? What happens when you overload it? Why? It's there to protect you. You don't want to burn the house down, right? If you overload the circuit, the body, the system goes, I can't take it, and that's what subluxations do. How many here can avoid physical, emotional, and chemical stress in their life? Let me know. We can have dinner and show me the meaning of life. So, but you can't, right? You can't avoid it because it happens all around us. So when you have these stresses, it subluxates you, and your body then begins to diminish in function. That's why you cannot repair. And we've talked about Dr. Windsor before. He showed that when you have damage to the organs from subluxation, it basically affects your health. We talked about a long time. Remember this chart? How much pressure it puts on the nerve, remember? So put your hand like this, right? Pretend that's a nerve. Pinky, go like this. Put it on top of that nerve. That's equal to about 40 millimeters of mercury. Within 1 to 2 minutes, if you leave that pressure on that nerve, you will decrease the function of that nerve by 60% in 1 to 2 minutes. Are you in pain? How are you going to know? And again, the saying of ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Doesn't work. It's not a good principle. When we were born, you had optimal health. And then you get subluxated. And then your system, the autonomic system, starts to malfunction. The body then doesn't work properly, not to mention the ligaments and tendons in the body. Then you start then lacking ease in the body, and guess what happens? Now you have symptoms, right? So Ava, when you first got here, I mean, you were already headed in the wrong direction because of all the subluxation patterns you have. You were having, the adductor issue. Remember all that? Well, it was already going downhill, and that's probably what pulled on that tendon in that area. And then remember the asymmetry with the pelvis and all that? So we didn't have the orthotics. We didn't have any of that stuff. So you were already, so we kind of caught you down here. Ideally, if mom was knowledgeable, we would have been here when you were a baby. We would have adjusted you right away. And you would never have to go down here. Make sense? Why do you guys train? Why don't you just run races and not train? You break yourself, right? Because the endurance, like with crowd, why do you keep training with crowd?
Well, to get better, to be able to just react.
But what happens to the skill set? It's perishable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it goes away. So
yeah.
why don't you just work out once a year? Your muscles like that.
Because you lose all your gains.
Exactly right. It's the same thing with your nervous system. You don't get adjusted because you feel bad. You get adjusted so you stay up here. Make sense? You don't invest because you're bankrupt. You invest so you stay up here. Make sense? These are all principles that apply to everything. Athletic, you get everything. You got back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, it's everything. I mean, all the different activities that you do causes these subluxations, and it causes all kinds of problems. Because your nerves control everything in the body, right? Stuff in the low back, extremities, come from the lumbar plexus. Now, when you accumulate these tensions in the body that are non-symptomatic, it makes you predisposed to injury, and guess what? You start wearing out your joints, right? When you wear out your joints, not good. Here's another thing. When you have people that have like knee issues or ankle issues or hip issues, remember your, right? With we have somebody here that when they first came in, that when we would have them face down like this, you would lift up the hip, right? The one leg, and it would go, whoa, way this way. But you had no symptoms, right? You had no back pain. You just had like foot issues or adductor issues. Now, you can be more balanced. So when you have these subluxations, it's very global. And so you can have issues. You have to stop chasing symptoms that drive you crazy. That's why we have the laser. It helps decrease pain, range of motion. Then Dr. Spencer introduced us to that. We have a whole seminar on laser by itself. And you can even see what the effect of laser. This guy had run out of his house, was burning. He had to step in carpet that was burning. So he had lasered himself. This is 11 days, 5 lasers, and then a grafting also. And then he was able to decrease the pain, There was a study, I think it was back 2007, talked about mice in terms of ligament healing, 66% faster if you use the laser. And that's why when you have somebody, let's say they have an injury, they have surgery, you use the laser right away, it responds a lot faster, right? So another thing you think, it's called myotomal inhibition. See, the laser can be used so Nicole, you want to be up here? So that's right, you'd be perfect because you haven't adjusted yet. So come this way. So for example, myotomal inhibition. Let's say you have some injury in the neck area, right? So what'll happen? So if you have a joint and that's injured, do you want the muscles to still contract normally or not? Think about it. If an injury, let's say your neck's like this, right? Because it's out of alignment, you're subluxated. Do you want the muscles on the left side and right side to still contract the same way? Well, the body doesn't either, because it's trying to protect your joint. You break something. So guess what it does? It'll shut down some of the muscles, 5%, 10%, so you can still move, but now you're working in a deficiency. You get it? And if you don't fix that, because you have it for a long time, guess what happens? The body memorizes the pattern. And that is called myotomal inhibition. It inhibits the muscles. So that's why if you just adjust the person without getting these muscles back up with a laser, it never gets better. Or you have to get adjusted more. Right? So here's an example. So hold this arm here. Hold strong. I'm going to push down. Good. Bring your chin down. Hold strong. Good. Head back all the way. And that goes weak. Can you feel that? And she can't help that at all. Forward again. Hold strong. And head back all the way. And so she can't do that. So turn this way again. So we'll do this again. Hold this now. Forward, straight up. And head back. You see? So now watch. This is the laser. And what it does, it has frequencies in here that'll actually turn the switch back on to the muscles. And it takes 2 seconds. Right? Head back all the way. Come back this way more, sorry.
This way?
In the camera. Doing that now. Good. Hold again. And resist. And there it is. Right? Now, turn to the left. Hold. Turn to the right. And that goes weak. Keep it there. Turn to the right. And there it is. Got it? So that is what myotomal inhibition is. Thank you. Appreciate it. You did a good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Does that make sense? So that's another thing that would be helpful to reset, turning the switch back on. Do you understand? Again, anybody, you can get adjusted as the mechanical component of it. The laser is the software part, right? So we just did that. Oh, there you go, Eva. Remember that one? We just did that today. So that's the iliacus muscle. So what'll happen if you have issues with the hips, adductor issues, knee issues, you have to understand that the muscles here are attached to your spine. So if your spine's crooked or you have degenerative issues here, it's going to affect the muscles the way they contract because of the structure. You have to look at both. You have to fix the muscles and you have to fix the spine as well at the same time. And the opposite side of that, watch how cool this is. See how that's triangular? It's on the inside of your body. You get it? The trapezius is the opposite. Look, it's also a triangle, but it's on the same exact attachment, but on the outside. You tell me that's not by design, right? And that's why you can have issues. People go, oh, my shoulder, oh, my middle back, oh, my neck. You can have subluxations anywhere here affecting the trapezius. What does it affect? Globally, right? Neck, middle back. So you don't chase symptoms. You have to find out where the subluxations are. Because if you clear this up, everything clears out, right? Much, much easier that way. And also the body, if you look at it, this is from anatomy trains, everything attaches in many different ways, right? So it's like a tent. You ever go camping and you have the tent and you have all those strings and, you know, ones are loose and it's like the whole thing falls apart if not everything's tight. Or like those circus tents, right? Everything's just exactly tight or it collapses. And that's the way the body was designed. Also, by the way, how many people you know have that traumatic brain injury, like concussions, right? Happens all the time. When you have a concussion, it messes up your gut. And when your gut gets messed up, because the brain-gut axis, they talk to each other, the neuropeptides that you create, which affects your moods, you can actually become depressed. Remember all those football players? Remember that movie about concussions and so on? That's what happens. They become depressed, and then they end up like killing people and so on. So be careful with the concussions. The laser can help with that. Okay? See this? Chronic pain and inflammation. So actually, fact here, another thing with the laser too, that you can actually increase your performance without using drugs, right? Also, functionality, we already know that. It reduces inflammation. The VO2 max, competitive cyclists, these are abstracts. Also, if you have something like virus or anything, this is from where's the article? 2021. The blue laser, the violet laser can help you with infections too. Fractures, we've used that. Okay, that's all laser stuff. Laser. That's another seminar for laser. Okay, so you guys online, I'll have to come back. Oh yeah, laser too. We can use it for foot fungus. I had somebody that in the 60s just came out with a question like, hey, by the way, can you affect foot fungus? Like, what do you mean? Well, I've had it since I was 18. So we did it, maybe 12 sessions, and it's all gone. Because everything is vibrational frequency, right? Mitochondria, laser. Are we going backwards?
Yeah.
Yes, we are, right? No. Yes, we are. So you have amnesia, but you keep forgetting, so it's not very tough. Can't wait for Easter egg and have my own Easter eggs. Problem is you just can't find them, you know. All right, so kinesio taping. So there's ways we can kinesio tape so fascial movement. In other words, oh, Nicole, back here again. So we can do this here. So come over here, put your arms like this, right? Yeah, come forward there. So watch, widen your stance. I'm gonna pull you this way, don't let me. Hold. So she can't do that at all. I mean, she's probably subluxated, but if you were, let's say, running now, and I don't have time to check you, I would then tape you so that you can be more balanced. Because watch here, hold. Oh, not get it off. Face that way. Okay. Okay. Widen your stance. I'm gonna pull you this way. Don't let me. Right there. So we gotta find out. Is it here? Is it here? Here. That's up here. So what we would do. So this is one way to do taping for functionality as opposed to pain. Get it? So are you okay taking this off? And then we'll tape that. There you go. Good. So now, what we'll do, again, double check here. So arms in front here. Yeah, come back towards me. Widen your stance. Good. So if you go here, see how it goes weak? Frank, this is important in terms of don't just tape yourself to tape yourself. You got to find out there's one way to tape functionally and tape because of pain. Two different functions. Okay, so if I go, turn around this way so they can see what I'm doing. So I'm muscle testing now. Let's say I put the tape, I'm visualizing taping here, right? Hold. Does it make a difference? No. How about here? No. You holding, right? No difference. Here? No. Here? What's the body saying?
Yeah, that's it.
You see that? So then we would tape there. If you did that tape there, then it would hold. You get it? So that's important. Cool. Let's leave that off. I'm going to use you again. So. What'd you learn from that?
You have to be precise in terms of where you're putting
Yes,
the tape,
exactly.
But how do you know?
Muscle test it.
How do I do that on myself? I'm getting ready to
You
tape.
have to you have to call us, or you can really get mastery at muscle testing. Attend as many seminars as you can, so we can teach you how to do that. The taping, by the way, it reduces inflammation. Okay, it improves proprioception and also muscle contraction. So what the mechanism here is that. So this is natural state. So you have the skin, you have the fascia that here, and you have all the tissue in here and the muscles down here, right? So when you have inflammation, the blood vessels get compressed in this area. So what'll happen when you put the tape, it'll actually allow this to be wavy. It uncompresses the blood vessels too, and then the inflammation will go down and the lymphatic system can move. So wherever you have the tape at, the skin will be elevated. Where you don't, it'll stay down. So every time you move, it's pumping it. Again, there's a difference between taping it. You're not bracing anything. You're trying to get more circulation. Here's another thing when you tape. When you tape on there, you're not immobilizing. You're stabilizing. See the difference? So when you stabilize, you can still move. And here's the thing, you athletes anyway, you always play hurt anyway, right? You're gonna run hurt, you're gonna do whatever. If you're gonna do it and you could do it with a tape, if you're gonna go anyway and then you're not in pain, then that's an advantage, right? If you're gonna go anyway when you're in pain, you might as well have something you could use that's natural. We won't inhibit your play and won't stabilize. It'll stabilize you, but it won't actually immobilize you. And that's another important thing. I don't know why that's there. Okay, kinesio taping. This guy was getting ready for CrossFit, so I just taped the heck out of him. We muscle tested everything right through here. Can you see? Those are the basic taping techniques that we can use. Ankles and so on. So I'll be demonstrating to you what we could do. Low back. As a matter of fact, when you get the tape, Frank, there's actually a thing in there.
I have it. I have
right.
it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So here's the taping demonstration. So, okay, what you want to do when you do this? All right, Frank, why don't you come up here so we can. Okay. So Nicole, come up here. You're both up here. So you go over here. I'll teach you how to tape.
Okay.
We'll just do it on your arm. Or should we do it here? Should we do it there? No, just kidding. Like, no, just trying to be nice. Okay, so what you want to do, come here. I'm going to show you. So what you want to do, you want to do this, right? You're going to go take the tape. See that, how I tore that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch the tape,
Okay.
right? Go here. Take that. Here, can you see?
Mm-hmm.
So hold that there. Don't touch the tape, and then go up closer to the middle there.
Okay.
Good. So you're going to tape this way. So wait.
Take this one,
No,
right?
okay, hold on. So put the, here, so you can see here. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe put it up here so they can see. So start there. Okay. Put it down.
Yeah.
Let it go. Take that up. Pull that off. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Do not have any kinks. If you have a kink, that will result in a blister and people will hate you or you'll hate yourself. Do not do that, because remember where the tape is, it'll
Yeah.
lift it.
Yeah.
Where it's not, it stays down, you're going to
Okay.
create a blister and you'd be sorry.
Okay.
So don't do that. So that's important. Go like this for a
Okay.
couple of seconds. You're
Yeah.
activating the glue.
Okay.
Then with this, hold it up here, right? So watch this. I'll do it for you for a second here. Hold it here.
Yep.
Stretch the tape 25%. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then as you can see how I'm holding here?
Yep.
Hold it down and see how I'm letting it go slowly?
Yep.
Do the rest of it, right? Hold it here. You gotta be, watch. 2 fingers, like, do what I'm doing. Hold on, wait. Do exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
Right? Okay. Go
So
slow.
I'm stretching it, right?
Right. 25%, and then
Well, I'm not gonna be able to keep it, right? So.
just go watch. I'll show you. So 2 fingers, see that?
Yeah.
And then hold that.
Yeah. But now, how do you slide it off? Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay.
You need PhD in taping. Just kidding. So go ahead again. 2 fingers
So
there.
2 fingers
Oh,
there.
wait. Yeah, you got it.
2 fingers, right?
And then this.
And hold that, and then.
No, here. That's come around where I am. Here you go.
Okay.
So this goes here.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
you just pull.
Put down. You let it go. Don't let it go. Just have to
Alright,
watch it.
alright.
There you go. It takes a little practice.
Yeah.
You have like a couple days of doing that, and then you always rub that like that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you need to practice. But again, that's the most important thing. How you apply the tape. Do not touch the tape. Do not put a kink in it. You'll get a blister.
Yeah.
You can leave that on there. It looks cool. Just walk around with it, you know. When I first learned how to tape, we were told to just put that on. People were like, what is that? And then you can talk to them about it. And it's like, yeah, you just tell them you're trying to qualify for the Olympics. Right? So you could do different ways of taping. Shoulder, kind of questions about taping. Very specific. This is that kind of little workshop here.
For me, it's my back.
Okay.
You know, specifically, especially if I'm golfing.
Yes.
You know, you got that rotation.
Okay. Yeah.
So that to me is.
Okay. So what you do, all right. So let's say you're going to be golfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, see this thing?
Yeah.
Does that stay there when you sit in your car?
No.
Or is
No,
it-
I take it out.
Okay.
I put it in
Okay. So be careful though, because the best thing to do, put it in your front pocket.
Yeah.
Get used to that, especially if you're in the Philippines.
my. I'm traveling. That's exactly with my hand on it.
No, because they cut you. Like they just like got you like on the bus and they like start and then it's gone. Yeah. I had somebody that were in Spain or something and she had it by her feet in a restaurant, it was gone. Her purse, you know. It's not like here in America. I mean, it's, you know, but anyway, what I just said is no wallet in the back pocket because then you throw off your pelvis. You come here to get adjusted and then you throw that off. So we already know we're not going to share your whole case history, but you have a lot of stuff, old subluxations in your spine that have been there because you've been, you know, you can tell the way he's built. He's an athlete. He cannot be an athlete. It's not your fault. It's your parents' fault. You have the genes for it. You're an athlete. What are you going to do? So the question is, how do you take care of your body for the rest of your life? Well, one of the ways, obviously, you get adjusted and all these things to make sure you're back in balance. But how do you tape? So, for example, you would, pretend you're going to golf, right? It's always the state of your beingness that day. Are you in subluxation? Are you not in subluxation? You get it? Are you your spine balanced or not? You can tape a spine. Watch this, right? Here's the thing. Relax. If you're balanced, tape it all you want. If you're twisted like this and you tape that because you're in pain, is that going to help? Or are you going to make it worse? Exactly. Make sure when you're taping, you're in balance. Always, when you guys are here, what do I always do? Even if you're complaining about your ankles, your neck, your elbow, what do I always do first? Balance your whole nervous system. Because now the communication's 100%. Then you ask the body, how am I supposed to adapt? You get it? So that's the first thing. So let's assume you're balanced. So then, go like this. Let's make sure you're balanced. I just adjusted you, right? So hold. Yeah, who's balanced? That's what a spine looks like when you're adjusted, right? Try again. You should be in balance like that. So now, if we're going to golf, pretend you're going to golf, visualize that, right? Hold this arm and resist. Hold. Good. Now turn around. So we're going to show them here. Hold this now. We're going to go look straight ahead. Hold. You would actually need one there. Here. Yes. Here. Yes. Here. So if you were to golf today, well, not now, but let's say it's during the day, you would tape all the way down this way.
Just one continuous strip.
Continuous strip. Hold. Did you see that? Not there. Isn't that cool? See, watch. Just pretend you have tape all the way across here. He's trying hard. It's like he doesn't like being weak. Don't try so hard. So you're like wasting your energy. So good. Ready? Hold. You just can't do it, right? If we go here, all the way down, imagine, right?
Yeah.
See how much stronger that is? Same here. How about this way? Across there. Yes. And not there. Can you see? So now, you know what you do? Do you golf with your wife or no? Just by yourself?
I do. No,
have them come to the muscle test seminar.
Plus with my buddies too.
Have them come to the muscle test. I mean, her come to the muscle test seminar, and she can start muscle testing, and have her tape you before.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Help each other out. I'm trying to teach you guys. Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really valuable to do that. So muscle test it because, and again, that's the flagship of that, because a lot of times you'll do something, and if you're not muscle testing it, it's not going to bode well. Okay. Sport specific taping. Do that. Right, we talked about this already. If you're going to play hurt anyway, might as well go. Lymphatic drainage. You guys know that? This is the way to tape if you have swelling. Because remember was the principle? Where the tape is, it lifts the fascia and skin. Where it's not, it stays down. So now you're pumping it. And if somebody has, like we've done this before, you can look on our YouTube, our Facebook page too. Somebody has like a bruise here, and then you tape it. When you take the tape off, the bruise, where the tape was, there's no bruise. Because you pump it. Okay? Again, you have to be careful. You can't just be taping. So you see people like, what's that? Oh, my elbow hurts. I taped it. Okay. It's one way to do it. Could be your neck being subluxated. You know what I mean? So, okay, we did that already. Right, the whole thing is you got to be careful about, here's the most important part too, I know we talk about taping. Don't be taking meds just by itself, because then you end up damaging your kidneys and your stomach, right? Because what medications do, it's supposed to be for short term, but if you use it for long term, then you're blocking receptors and poisoning enzymes, and it can never happen long enough for you to be healthy. So salazane, you guys have that, right? It's white willow bark, and that's to help with pain. Zymane, it has all kinds of stuff in it besides vitamins. Bromelain is anti-inflammatory, bioflavonoids for healing. Papain, trypsin, these are all enzymes that break down tissue inflammation. There's beef cartilage in there, chymotrypsin. There's a lot of enzymes in there that break down inflammation. And that's how you then get ahead of the game. Instead of taking anti-inflammatory that blocks it, right? You just can't feel it, but you're still damaging yourself. How many people, right? And that's how people just get hurt again and again and again and again. They're not really healing the tissue. They're just blocking it. You can't do it for long term. Omega-3, anti-inflammatory, right? Essential fatty acids. NutriDisc has Moriva in it. And Mariva will allow you to have the curcumin in your bloodstream instead of 20 minutes for 4 hours. It helps reduce the inflammation in the system. Magnesium is important too. And homeopathic remedies, the 911 spray, right? What's the difference, Frank, between homeopathy and nutrients? I'm going to share another principle with you. All the vitamins and the nutrients are the 2x4s and the bricks and the nails to build a house. Homeopathic remedies, the blueprint. You have to have a blueprint to know where it goes. And this is what homeopathy does. It doesn't hurt you. In the contemporary homeopathy, instead of just the one cure there, you can actually have different succussions like 10x, 30x, and 100x. So this way the body takes a buffet of what frequency it needs in order for it to use it for healing. Pain relief, again, natural stuff you can use. Again, you got to muscle test these things. You can't just like randomly take them. But even if you did, it's not going to hurt you because there's no side effects. So we're going to close soon. Any questions about that? Think about an athlete. Think about, again, the whole purpose of the seminar was, number one, if you get injured, what do you do naturally, right? Number two, how do you get back online as quickly as possible? Number three, how do you get injured to begin with? And what are the steps that are necessary? And we didn't even really emphasize tonight is what? How do you make sure that your nervous system is healing? You got to make sure that your nervous system is balanced. You got to find somebody that does holistic adjusting, right? Because anybody can just adjust you, but you got to be sure it's very specific for you. Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world, won tons of medals. When he was younger, he had scoliosis and he was really having issues, but he basically had under chiropractic care, and even during his performances there, as long as I'm in great shape, nobody can beat him, according to him. We helped some guys, the Harlem Wizards, remember these guys? So they would go, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters, but in a high school level. So we're able to help them. We donated our time to help them a long time ago. Can you see it was winter? I had my winter boots on there. So again, 100% connection, 100% function. We've talked about this before. We'll skip that, about the immune system. We're online, all the different media. So connect with us there. Also our website, obviously. We have lots of information on there. Next seminar is how to make sure you don't get sick through the holidays, right? Just a little tip right now. Halloween just came by. Candy, right? So what's next? Thanksgiving. Be careful, right? Don't overdo it. And then you have Christmas. So we're going to share some secrets with you how to make sure you stay healthy. Listen, even though we don't get a yellow jersey at the end of 3 weeks, right? At the end of our lives, I still believe that we deserve to have the capacity and the principles and knowledge on how to live life at a higher level instead of just kind of getting by. And these are all based on principles. My goal, my hope for you this evening is that you learn something different so that you can do things differently in your life. And otherwise, you'll be like my brother, he's 5 years younger than me. I remember when he was 13, I asked him, so how does it feel to be 13? And he said what?
Same.
When then I'll be happy? When then I'll be happy?
When I'm 16, I'll be happy because...
I can drive.
Exactly. That's when my life will begin. Then I'll be happy then. Oh, no, that didn't work. My mom got him on Honda CRX. It was like one of those sports cars.
Yeah.
He changed the oil every 3 years. Had all kinds of like fast food stuff in the back. You couldn't even sit. It was bad enough if it was two-seater. Never took care of it. So that wasn't it, right? Oh, I know. I work at McDonald's right now, and not there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but when I get a real job, that's when I'll be happy. Really? You think that was it? No. Oh, I know. I'm lonely. I need a girlfriend. I need a girlfriend in my life. When I meet that special person, then I'll be happy. You think? Still single. Right? How old is he now? 56? Still single, right? So the challenge is we end up dying in an old age, hopefully, never being happy the entire time. You know why? Because we're always waiting for that important thing to happen to us. I contend the important thing is happening right here and now. Why do we have these seminars? If you can understand these principles and pass it on to your great-grandchildren, you've won. Because nobody teaches this, right? If you watch commercials, all they do is they want you to buy products. You know, you're already here in our practice. We don't want anything from you. We want everything. But guess what? Adjustments are very brief. It's an event, but your healing is a process. The most important thing is to change your thoughts, patterns, and your behavior and principles so you can take care of yourself when you're not here. Otherwise, you'll keep subluxating yourself and you're wasting your time and energy. But that's what these seminars are for. The more you can attend them, the better off you are. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. Our next seminar, I will see you again. I'm Dr. Dennis Mariano, and have a good night. Take care.
Thank you.